fiction, but as things that are happening right now. So AI, and why it's important for me to start with this, go on. I can see a raised hand. Somebody's raised their hand.
Prof, you can get me.
Okay, I'll keep going. I'm assuming.
You can get me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes. I was just asking, we wanted to do an introduction.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. I will probably do that. Yes.
Meanwhile, is it possible we see your face as we do the introduction?
You can see my face, of course. I'm trying to figure out some of this stuff. So welcome options. Start sharing.
It's okay. We can do the introduction.
Yeah, I am facing the welcome.
Thank you, members. We want to introduce Professor Chris Odindo. He's a seasoned academic with extensive experience in business writing and consultancy. His career began in financial services industry in Kenya before he was transferred to New York, and subsequently to Fenchurch Street in London. Chris was awarded a scholarship to pursue an MBA and later collaborated on joint Harvard-MIT project in Boston, focusing on technology, commercialization strategies. After that, throughout his career, Chris has worked on a range of consulting projects and reports that have influenced decision-making within leading blue-chip organizations in the City of London, including HSBC, Aviva, Scottish Windows, etc. In recent years, Chris has shifted his focus towards higher education policy, strategy, and practice, concentrating on quality assurance, curriculum development, student engagement, and innovative pedagogical approaches in the age of AI. Chris is also keenly interested in the development of AI tools and systems that can transform research and education. In this regard, he has led on the creation of AI systems aligned to local African context that power research, as well as bespoke university AI technologies to support student lectures and university leaders. As an entrepreneur, Chris has founded and successfully exited multiple companies, including the first SaaS white label online insurance and rating software in East African region. Currently, Chris is based in UK. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you for the introduction. Now, as has been said, I am quite fascinated, and I've spent a lot of time in this field. And one of the things that I feel that is important for us to be able to think about when we're in conferences like this is that how do we leverage this technology to be able to help us with development. Thank you for that introduction, I'm quite pleased. I'm terrifically pleased to be able to speak today about something which is very dear to my heart and close to my heart. But I think it's important for me to start by looking at what exactly we mean by artificial intelligence or AI. So I want you to think about this as we talk through some examples about sustainable development. AI, for most people, probably is an ability to be able to write emails, create images, and so on. But it's important to realize that actually there is far, far much more in terms of the sophistication when it comes to AI. And that is this, that and the simplest way to think about this is that AI is modeled to humans. The way we think, the way we argue, the way we use logic, the way we reason, is mainly based on the fact that we've got things in our brains that are called neurons. And this typically is how the brain works. On the left, you can see, the top left, you can see a biological neuron, and that's how the brain processes information. The signal comes through the dendrites, and then the dendrites they are processed in the cell body and then transmitted onwards. So what happens is, what has happened in the last decade or so, actually from a beautifully written paper by the Google team called "The Attention Is All We Need," is that we have been trying to replicate this idea of neurons and how our brains as human works mathematically. And you can see that in B. And in B, what you're seeing is that instead of the biological signals, what you're seeing in B is you're seeing data points and what are inputs, and these are assigned weights, and the weights represent the importance. And the system performs a calculation that applies what we call activation functions, and essentially deciding what matters and what doesn't matter. When you scale this up, that's the bottom C part of the model. What you see that is you get the neural kind of networks, which are equivalent to neurons in our minds, where you have the raw data, the input, there are raw data, images, text, sensors, and then the hidden layers where patterns are learned, and then the output layers where you have the decision that has made. Why does this matter? And I think I need to explain why I start with this, because it matters tremendously. Some of the things that we will be talking about, are things that for some people they may seem as science fiction, and things that are not possible. But realistically, those are things that are possible today and now. And I'll give you some quick example, a couple of quick examples in the next slide. And that is this. What we are seeing now in terms of the transformative power of AI is that we are entering a new phase of science. And that new phase is where intelligence, not computation, drives discoveries. This is profound. I'll let it sit there in your minds that what researchers are now doing, not in the future, tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, they're doing it right now. They're using AI to be able to decode 98% of the human genome, which we once ignored. So they're unlocking new pathways for disease prevention and treatment. At the same time, what we are seeing now is that researchers are developing new AI frameworks like the Thor AI, which is solving 100-year-old, centuries-old physics problems in seconds. What the Thor AI does is it tackles problems once considered impossible, and calculations that used to take longer than the age of the universe can now be made by restructuring complexity using tensor networks and machine learning. And that is a fantastically brilliant thing that we are starting to see now. Bomet has a department of physics and materials, And this is something which I expect you should be getting excited to see that's happening. And this is what has changed. We are no longer with AI limited by what we can compute, but by how intelligently we can model and understand computing and complexity. And why does this matter for us in this conference? This matters because the same intelligence used Africa to lead where intelligence matters most. And some of you probably have been watching the Artemis 2. And what's fascinating about Artemis 2, not the fact that they have gone way, way beyond where any other human has gone. What's fascinating about Artemis, it's not a landing mission. They're not landing in the moon, but it's a proving mission. For humans are returning to space, not because we've arrived, but because we're learning how to operate in the unknown. And here's a shift. The breakthrough is not about Artemis 2, the rocket. The breakthrough is the intelligence within it. Inside Orion, AI is managing life support with zero room for error. If we can sustain, and that's a question we could be asking ourselves, if we can sustain life in space, we can manage water scarcity in Turkana. Orion is navigating without GPS, deep in space, using computer vision, just as we can be able to monitor farms in Makueni or Machakos from space. Orion is using AI to predict solar radiation in real time, just as we can protect pastoralists in Umaji, Mandera, from we are looking at the same question. And that question is this: how do we think in the unknown? Because whether it's in the moon or development in Kenya, the challenges are exactly the same. So, coming back to the thesis and the basic of what we are here today, and having explored what AI is, intelligence, I want us to turn back to the level of development. And this is what I fundamentally believe, that sustainable development has always rested on 4 pillars: health, food, climate, and education. And where this fails, everything else fails. And that's important for us to ponder. And we can see that. And in many parts of Kenya, and we can see that. And in many parts of Kenya and our continent, it's a system. And increasingly, it is an intelligence problem. Because the question is no longer just how we build, but how can we use intelligence to sustain this. And that takes me to the next slide. So the 4 foundations have not changed at all. But what has changed with AI is our ability to understand them. And once we understand them, then everything else follows. And let me show you that in practice. This is 2026. This is now. This is today. These are things that can happen, not as moonshot moments, but these are things that can happen right now in practice. Couple of examples. In Marsabit, with sickle cell anemia, no longer has to wait for genetic treatment because AI using AlphaFold 3 and genomic sequencing can predict molecular binders for patient-specific proteins. In Makueni, we can stop reacting to crop failure and start predicting it before it happens. Why? Because AI sees what the farmer cannot see. Soil stress, pests, microclimate changes, and the food security then, if we do that, the food security then becomes intelligent and anticipatory. And that is something which is happening now. I talked about Artemis and computer vision with satellite fusion. This is something that is happening right now. Going back to my premise that the foundation of sustainable development are health, food, climate, and education, then we start to see how AI can help with amplifying us, making us resilient in everything that we do in our lives. But there's something else that I want to dwell upon a little bit, and that is this, that intelligence is now scalable. What do I mean by that? What I mean is this, that for most of human history, intelligence did not scale. It was slow, it was scarce, and concentrated. Expertise took years, sometimes decades to build, and even longer to transfer. But with AI, that is now dissolving. And that's important in terms of development, because when the intelligence begins to scale, when the intelligence becomes available to everyone, including us in Africa, then it brings something different. It becomes not a privilege, it becomes infrastructure. And that's why when you look at some of my writing and some of the things I've done in the past few years, I've been making this argument that we are entering an era where intelligence is abundant, and the question is no longer whether that intelligence can scale. It already has. And the Bambara proverb talks about this. It reminds us that knowledge without wisdom is like water in sand. That's important, because whereas we used to have knowledge, we need to also think about this in terms of the wisdom that comes with it. So to bring you back to the discussion today, what happens when the intelligence scales? This is where the shift becomes tangible. We've talked about foundations of development, that is health, food, climate, education, and how fragile those can be. But when the intelligence begins to scale, the same foundations don't just improve, they transform, terrifically transform. Health moves from being reactive to predictive. We stop waiting for illnesses and start anticipating it. And you will agree with me that a healthy nation is a nation that can develop faster than a nation that is not healthy. Food becomes moved from subsistence to precision. We move from guesswork to data-driven, climate-aware production. And education, perhaps the most important of all, moves from standardized to personalized, from teaching everyone the same way to enabling each individual to learn in the way they need. This, colleagues, is not incremental change. This is a shift in how our systems think. And there's a quiet African wisdom that sits beneath this transformation. And that is this: the child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Because what intelligence allows us to do is to finally see, understand, respond to individuals and community in that context. And that's important. That's hugely, hugely what does this mean when we are talking about intelligence and scaling that intelligence? And you can look at the full frontier of science, what I call the paradigm shift, brought about by AI. And that is this. For decades, we've used computers to our knowledge. Today, in 2026, we're using AI to generate it. We're using AI to develop solutions that were unheard of, or we could only dream about in a few years, in even 2 or 3 years ago. Take the hard sciences, for example, the first one, physics, and consider turbulence. Turbulence is the reason why a flight shakes and the reason why we can't perfectly predict a storm in Rift Valley. Now, for 200 years, I will say this again, for 200 years, we've had the Navier-Stokes equation, but they were too complex to solve fully. And in 2026, this year, AI does not just run the numbers of the Navier-Stokes equations. It has discovered the missing mathematical terms to bridge the gap between tiny eddies and massive storms. And what that means is this, that we are talking about near perfect weather forecasting. Think about how that would help us at a national scale to be able to know with precision what the weather will be on such and such a day. Think about that in the context of food security. And not just that, for materials, for example, we've, in the past, finding, say, for example, a new battery material has been trial and error. But with for AI, what we see now, and this is happening now in 2026, we are seeing AI frameworks designing materials atom by atom. And in fact, right now as I speak, AI has generated 400,000 stable compounds that don't exist in nature. That is the engine that will power our green energy transition. We could not have done it last year or last year but one, but we can do it now. And you can see that right across all the different fields, from materials, genomics, astrophysics, drug discovery. The question no longer is, can AI do this? What this table does, and it proves that it can. And the question for us today is, how quickly can we, as a nation or as a continent, deploy this breakthrough to meet our development targets or agenda? And that allows us to move from science fiction to what I would call science fact. Now, I want to talk about what happens when we go beyond intelligence. And this is where we are going now. The question no longer is, can machines think? The questions then now become, can they think beyond what humans can do? And I won't spend a lot of time on this slide because there's a lot of philosophical stuff around this, and I fear I stand between you and lunch, and therefore I won't spend too much time on this. The question, though, for you to ponder is this. If machines can do things that we do as human beings in terms of rationalization, in terms of logic, in terms of thinking, in terms of capabilities, then what should we as human beings do in terms of looking at leveraging that capability? So now the issue is no longer about capability to my mind. It's about control, it's about meaning, it's about definition. And this is why this moment, when we look at towards artificial general intelligence and towards perhaps artificial scientific intelligence, where machines will be reaching a position of singularity, we will be asking ourselves, we should be asking ourselves this: do we still define what thinking means as human beings? And this is a difficult area to go into because it goes into a lot of philosophy and so on. So I'll move along swiftly from this. But the point I want to say is this, that we need to think about what happens to us and how can we continue to leverage that capability in terms of development. Let's bring this back home. And what this slide is, it's about a quiet and profound shift. Because for me, universities should really be the engines for development in a society. But the uncomfortable truth is this, that universities were designed for a different era. And that's true. Universities were designed in an era when knowledge was scarce, where the role of the institution was to store it, organize it, and transmit it. We went to university to access knowledge we could not get anywhere else. But that world no longer exists. As a university, you should be asking ourselves, we should be asking ourselves the questions. In a world where knowledge is abundant, where it sits in our students and in everybody's pockets, where it's searchable, it's generatable, and increasingly automated, the question then should be, how can we get our students and our researchers to do something meaningful with it? And that's where the shift to intelligence begins again. Let me ground this. Take software development. A student today can use AI tools to generate code in seconds. Entire functions, entire applications. So there's no longer a value in writing code by line. Yet our universities are still teaching students how to write code by line. Healthcare. Medical knowledge is vast and it's accessible through AI systems. But why are we still providing the same kind of knowledge that students were provided for years ago at universities, actually 4 years ago at universities? But we need to, my argument is this, that we need to be able to look at universities because we will think our role as universities because we are facing a moment of truth. If we continue with our role is to recall, access, repetition, and reproduction, we are in many ways digging a hole for ourselves. But if we shift towards reasoning, synthesis, application, and judgment, then universities will never become obsolete. They become more important than ever because then we are teaching and we are demonstrating intelligence and using that intelligence to do the kind of things that I spoke about earlier: food security, climate security, and so on. And that's important for us to think about. The last couple of slides I want to look at is just what do we mean by producing intelligence. So intelligence becomes something you can actually see, teach, and measure. And in terms of development, it's about solving real problems and not theoretical ones. Too often we give student assessments so that they can solve beautifully structured problems that don't exist outside the classroom. But that should not be the case. We have the tools now to be able to apply that intelligence to solve problems within our society and our community that will enhance the development of that communities or our communities. And let's look at something, let's not talk abstract. Let's look at something like informal settlements in Nairobi. The last month or so, we've seen flooding in Nairobi, we've seen waste management, poor waste management, we've seen poor access to clean water. And these are complex, messy, real-world problems. What if we have students working on GIS data, satellite imagery, and even community-reported data to map some of these problems, like the flood risks in places like Kibra? That's not theory. That is producing intelligence, applying that intelligence to reality. And the other point I want to make really, really important is we've got to create new solutions and not copy old ones. There's often a temptation to copy or to replicate Western models. I see this in my travels to Washington, New York, Boston, London, and all those places. I always get the discussions geared towards why can't we have ChatGPT, why can't we have and so on. So there's always that. But I posit that our biggest breakthroughs come when we did not do or we don't copy the Westerners. M-Pesa is an example of that. If we can look at models like that, then we can start using AI to develop local contextualized solutions that will help our development. Or take off-grid solar in Kenya and in Africa. We can be able to have energy models that didn't exist in the same way like in the West, but using frameworks like Thor AI frameworks. And that's what I want to say with intelligence. Build what comes next. And that's the value of what I call building forward. And it's important to also say this, that our opportunity as Africans is that we have to look at local data, solutions that are built for us. We've got to look at building intelligence that our world needs. The farmer in Makueni, the boy in Marsabit, the pastoralist in Wajir. We've got to build intelligence that matters. Intelligence matters to us. Intelligence that can be able to address those four fundamental foundations of development: food, climate, health, and education. Without that, we are working in ways that don't really help us. But I cannot finish any conversation around AI particularly without asking for us to approach it with care. AI is not built for us as Africans. I've been in Silicon Valley where the discussions were being made around what AI is, ChatGPT and so on. They're not built for us. They're built for mostly Western, middle-class, white, Caucasian individuals. So therefore, when we use AI systems that have been imported, we need to be careful and recognize that there is a lot of racism, there's a lot of bias with the data that has built them. Let's bring this home. We are at Bomet University, and I want to ground this, because this is not just about the future in general. This is what it means to universities like your university, Bomet, and other universities in the country and across Kenya. And I will start by premising this, that Bomet is not just another institution. You're one of the newest fully chartered universities. And more importantly, you're a green university positioned around sustainability and innovation. And for me, I think this is an opportunity. So when we start looking at AI and development, we should be, at least at Bomet University, be asking ourselves this. How can we be able to start looking at translating this into something more concrete? I'll give you two or so concrete examples. I'm mindful of the time, so I've one or two more slides, and I will wind up in a couple of slides. I will take agriculture right there in Bomet. It's a tea growing region. It's a farming economy. What moving from institution to intelligence type means is that Bomet University becomes the place where AI models are developed predicting yields and disease patterns. Bomet University becomes the place where smallholder farmers access real-time advisory through simple mobile tools. Bomet University becomes a place where climate data meets local farming knowledge. And this is my challenge. It's not about publishing papers about agriculture, but shaping how agriculture is done in that region. Because with agriculture, it's a fundamental aspect of development. What about sustainability? Your identity as a university, Bomet, is as a green university. And you've already done this. You position yourself around that, but you can go further. What if Bomet University becomes a living hub for climate-smart campuses? What if Bomet University becomes a center for carbon tracking and deforestation intelligence? What if Bomet University becomes a university where students build solutions for water management, soil health, and biodiversity? Not just studying sustainability, but operationalizing it. And that's the point I want to make here with AI and development. Development is not an abstract thing. Development centers around these four things: agriculture, education, and climate, and food, climate, education, and people's health. So therefore, if we are talking about AI and using AI to be able to look at how we can transform our thinking and our sustainable development agenda, we need to start thinking about this in the context of these tools are there. They can help us do a number of things. In agriculture, for food security, predictive local intelligence. In education, personalized learning systems. In sustainability, climate smart innovation. And in research, looking at local solutions and local problems and local solutions. Because if Bomet University gets this right, and all our universities get this right, it will no longer just be about educating our students. It will be about shaping our future in terms of development, because they will be coming out with solutions that would help our development purposes. Now, just to finish off, my team, we build AIs for universities, and we thought it would be interesting just to show you this, because it's not theory. It's not theory, if I may say that. You can have, as Bomet University, Bomet AI, that can help with solving some of these problems. Your own engine that can help with solve. My team did this. I'm happy to discuss this another time with the relevant authorities there. And it's not just about agriculture. You can do this using AlphaFold predictions that will allow you to use structural modeling that predicts the interaction of polysomal receptors with proteins. So, to finalize this, I think my thoughts are this, that if we are thinking about unlocking opportunities for sustainable development, this is not a conversation about AI. It's not a conversation about development. Nope. For me, it's a conversation about how we choose to think as a country, as a continent. And why I'm saying this is for a long time, development in Kenya and across Africa has been measured in visible things. Roads that have been built, hospitals that have been constructed, schools that have been expanded, and of course those matter. But what we are now stepping into is, to my mind, a different phase, where the real question is not just what are we building, but how intelligently are we building this? I want to end by looking at something quite simple, but critical: healthcare. We have a choice. We can continue to build more hospitals, or we can build systems that predict diseases, outbreaks using local data. We can build systems that optimize SHA insurance utilization patterns. We can build systems that can provide personalized medicine to a child in Marsabit or a child in the coast. And when we do that, healthcare becomes not just reactive, but anticipatory. And food, we can continue to support farmers with subsidies in lower fertilizer costs and inputs, or we can equip our farmers with AI-driven crop advisory based on local weather patterns. We can equip our farmers with AI-driven pest detection to simple poverty.
Hello, Prof.
So that farming, yeah. I'm almost done. I'm at the end. So that's the point I was saying is that we need to think about how we make sure that we are building things intelligently, not just building roads and hospitals, but building systems that can be able to anticipate some of the problems or issues we face as a nation. So in conclusion, the point I want to make, and I want to leave you with, is this: that we have within our hands a technology that can allow us as individuals and as a nation come up with things that will enable us to develop solutions that will help sustainable development. So thank you very much, and I do appreciate the help. And over back to Bomet.
Thank you very much, Prof. I hope you are still there with us. We are really enlightened to listen to your presentation, and thank you for considering giving us a second chance to do this presentation. Allow me to just moderate for 1 or 2 minutes. We will allow our esteemed participants to file in at least 2 or more questions, if time allows. That you have really challenged us to move from knowledge production to intelligence. You have even challenged us as a university what we can do, and therefore the role is how intelligently are we going to consume what AI generates. And for that, I will allow participants who have been touched by your presentation to ask or comment briefly, if there are any.
Appreciate that.
Yes. Just a
Greetings to you, Prof. We were wishing we could see your face as you did the presentation, but nonetheless, we thank you. Something about your presentation, you have redefined education, and I wish...
Prof, can you put your face on?
I am trying to do that. For me to put my face on, I may need to leave and come back again, yeah? Let me do that, yeah?
You can end the share slide.
Let me do that, yes. Let me do that. I will leave, then I will back in about a minute because I have to go to the computer to give myself the picture for you to see my face.
As you do that, Prof, mine is a comment, not a question. Thank you for redefining education and giving us a chance to learn what was not learned earlier on. As technology evolves, thank you for giving us a chance to learn and evolve with technology. Asante sana.
Prof, you have been highly appreciated, and just to file in as a moderator, we are asking, you said that AI should really help us solve real problems. And as a university, we are being challenged in how our students appropriate AI to do research, to do term paper, to do thesis writing. How else then do we award the degree to the AI or the individual student, because this is a real problem for us?
Can you get us?
Check the connectivity for us. Prof, can you hear us? Otherwise, colleagues, it's a very enlightening presentation. Lot of philosophical concerns for us. And so it's not just a matter of having AI available, but overall, how intelligently can we utilize it? There are pitfalls that we really need to be aware. And Prof ended by saying, while it is quite transformative, and I think those are the opportunities we need to leverage on in the area of health, in the area of education, in the area of material utilization, but Prof concluded by saying, let us be careful. AI was not originally built for us. Prof, I don't know why you are shy showing your face. You look great, and so was your presentation. There was one question posed that you said AI should really be utilized to solve real problems. And therefore, we at the University of Bomet, our students utilize AI to do research, to do innovation, to do thesis writing, among many other things. Once that is done, do we award the degree to AI, or how do we navigate this challenge of originality? Thank you, Prof. Prof, did you hear our question?
Prof, do you get us?
Yes, now I can get you. Go on. What is the question? I do apologize.
Just briefly, last question, just briefly.
Yeah. Prof, we are asking,
Okay.
you said AI should be used to solve real problems. At Bomet, our students appropriate AI to do thesis writing, assignments, among others. Whom do we give credit for the originality, AI or the student?
Prof, we want to thank you for the presentation, and we appreciate your support towards this end. I can see you are calling me. I don't know whether I need to receive. You can just receive. But we want to thank you for the presentation. It was great. Members who are online, it is exactly 4 minutes past 2. We don't want to interfere with the breakaway sessions. The rooms are set, and the physical presenters are in the room already. So I would suggest those who are online, please click the link that will redirect you to your various breakaway session. Prof, we want to thank you, and in Kenya it is good afternoon. So colleagues, I would wish that those who are here, the conference presenters. Yes, Prof. Okay, you can, just 1 minute, yes.
This is the wonder of technology. We adapt.
Prof, I'm requesting that I'll really get this feedback, and we will send the feedback to participants. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. So members, we are requesting those of us who are still here, we have breakaway session rooms. So we have the 4 sub-themes, and they are in the first floor and second floor in the library. So please, you will be guided. You get to those rooms, and you have a fruitful discussion in the afternoon. We were supposed to have gotten the lunch break and convene at 2 in those rooms, but in the interest of time, I'm just requesting we move to those rooms. Then you are going to be notified on a seamless way on how we go for the lunch. So please, in the interest, those who are virtual are really waiting to make the presentation virtually in the breakaway sessions. For the innovation students, you can come in front. The judgment is ready. We are just starting immediately. So the students, please just come. Students, just come. The high school students, the TVET students, judgment is going on outside. The university students, please just come, we are starting. And our partners from Communication Authority of Kenya, you are supposed to make a presentation today, but we are requesting that you will be slotting in tomorrow when we have the closing ceremony. we have Communication Authority of Kenya. We will slot you. It's okay. We will slot you in. So the students, you just put your slides there. The first one to just put the judgment stand. There are questions below 15 minutes. So feel free in case of anything. I've talked to Alima. The lunch will be served. We have two venues. I think we didn't, in the morning we were a bit. We have two venues. We have the main one where the staff and the student innovators are taking. So students, you are ready. Who is starting? Who is starting? You are, but you can just, we are not virtual, so you can just use the stand. You want to project? Hmm? You want to? Then who is next? We want to do very fast. See, you are 12. There? Zingine sir? You have the forms. Austin Ager. We are starting with Austin Ager and William Lemiso. Are you ready? Smart walking stick. Are you ready? Uko juu. Mkai kwa hii mbili. Then the next one will be Victor Colum. You are alone. Then Austin again. But we'll give you time. You are the third one again. So we'll give you time. Then we have Mercy Cherotich. Are you ready? Very ready. Kuja huku juu. Mercy, if you are ready, you can just come. We have and Sharon. Agabe Kiprotich. You are ready? Pius, Maroa, and Enoch. Very ready. Abubakar. Yes. So we have this. So members, we have Courier you. You will help us judge. Yes, then we will do something, but Courier, you know, you are a very troublesome friend of mine. This Courier. So we have our colleagues. You are ready? You are ready. Just, if you are ready, just go there. Members, Dr. Nkaburi Lee mentored you on what you are supposed to be doing. Be precise and be to the point. So, Dr. Nkabu, I'll give you just 1 minute to introduce our judges. Then we proceed from there.
Thank you, Prof. Good afternoon. We are entering to the next phase of our conference, the innovation competition. With us here is our students, our great students with great minds, great innovations, and that's basically what we're here to showcase. Of course, as we say, we alerted you about this particular event. You'll be assessed, not really judged per se, but you'll be assessed. We believe that all the innovations are great, but we want to assess the level of greatness. But every innovation is a great innovation and most welcome. So we are very esteemed judges who are here to attend to that. Very objective team of judges who will look at your innovations and probably interrogate you a little bit in terms of what you are presenting, what you are showcasing. And they are very friendly. Let me confirm, it's a very friendly lot. So you should not be scared, feel intimidated, because I can assure you people are very friendly. With me on my left here is Bwana Koril, very experienced judge. Koril, unaweza simama ukuone. That is Koril. He's one of very experienced and esteemed judges that will be looking at your innovations. We have Mr. Bet here. Bet, again, is one of the team members who will be looking at what you guys are doing and probably also give some perspectives in terms of what maybe can be done to make your work probably even better. But I'm not a judge myself. I'm not a judge. But I believe they will be able to maybe give you some ideas as they interrogate you. We also have, last but not least, Daktari here, Evelyn. Again, she'll be part of the team of 3 who'll be looking at what you're doing. So, Doc, you can take your seat. So these are the very esteemed experts who'll be looking at what you have. And so feel free to interact with them. Whatever questions they'll probably ask you is because they want to understand more about what you have, or what you are showcasing is not meant to in any way water down your innovation. And so I really want to believe that further to our mentorship yesterday, you will be brief and precise and confident as you present your great ideas. So with that, I want to wish you well. You are the best among the best. all of you that are here, you are the best among the best, and so feel confident about that. So we have the first presenter already on stage, right? And take the shortest time possible, Kolum, tafadhali. You need a mic, but don't shout when you're using the mic.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Victor Kolum, and that's my project, sign language translator for SNE in Bomet University. The name is Victor Kolum, SAS/10 017/22. Our theme is artificial intelligence as a transformative technology, unlocking the opportunity for sustainable development. Then the description of the innovation, or the abstract. It is a system that uses the AI to convert sign language to alphabetical letters. It recognizes hand gestures and converts them to alphabets. It combines several technologies, such as the media pipe, to enable real-time translation and operate on a custom build on a dataset webcam, natural language processing, NLP, that converts sign into letters, and computer vision, which detects hand shapes. Through machine learning and coding, it enables to learn several patterns of sign language. Then the problem that this innovation is about to solve, the communication barrier between the deaf students and the teachers limit the effective learning. The shortage of qualified sign language interpreters in many universities, e.g. the JSS and the senior schools. We have the limited understanding of sign language among the lecturers and the hearing impairing students. The delay in real-time lecture rooms, interaction and participation. The lack of accessible learning tools or materials tailored for learners with hearing impairments. Then we go to the innovation impact to the society. What do the innovation brings to the society? It reduces the reliance on scarce and costly sign language interpreters. Promote inclusive education by enabling deaf students to fully participate in lecture rooms. It empowers learners with hearing impairments to gain independence and confidence, create an equal opportunity for equal access to education and employment. It supports wider adoption and preservation of sign language. The next thing is innovation impact to the environment. It reduces the use of paperwork based on learning materials through digital translation tools, promote a paperless lecture room, lowering deforestation and waste, minimizes need of physical travel by the interpreters, thus reducing the carbon emissions, supports the sustainable education system through technology integration. It encourages the use of energy-efficient digital devices in education. Then the innovation sustainability, how can we sustain this project designed for long-term use through continuous AI learning and updates? Can be scaled easily to different universities, GSS and senior schools, and even used by shopkeepers to attend special needs customers. Low operation cost after development, making it cost-effective. Supports multiple sign languages, ensuring adaptability over time. Can run on a widely available devices, that's tablets, computers, and smartphones. Can be integrated into existing education system for sustainable impact. Innovation resources required. It required the skilled personnel, e.g. the AI developers, software engineers, and sign language experts. Hardware, computers, smartphone, and high definition cameras. Software tools, programming languages, Python and AI frameworks. Internet access to data collection and model training and updates. Funding for development, testing, and deployment. A partnership and collaboration on the innovation. Partners with the special needs school for testing and implementation, mainly during practicum and teaching practices in JSS and senior schools. Collaboration with the universities and research institutions for AI development and innovations. Partner with technology companies for software development, training, and scaling, like building a digital market in Bomet University. Then collaborate with NGO support people with disability for outreach, and it encourages education bodies for policy support and adoption in school. Then commercialization of the innovation, developing a mobile app and a web platform for schools and individuals. License for, the technology to educational institutions and government programs. Sell customized solutions for special needs school and organizations. Partner with tech companies for wider market distribution. Integrate with learning management system for broader adoption. Expand into regional and global market for expansion. That's the end of the presentation, but I can demonstrate how these things works by just a minute. So this is a system. So in that 3 papers that I've given you, with my technology, I've advanced into the first 3, A, B, and C, in that through this technology, the Python charm, I have developed and I've nimetengeneza in that I can nikionyesha the system the sign ya A ama B ama C, it is able to detect that this is an A and this is actually a B. So let me 1 minute. So you can see me there. That's me. So when I show this one, ukiona hapo, this sign means A. Yeah, that's an A. Then nikieka hii, that's a B. Then nikieka hii, that's a C. So that's my development that you can advance this thing about SNE technology in our campuses. And what we are requesting the university maybe so that this thing is not, I think we can access this thing by putting in the website of the university, so that wale wanafunzi wenye wako in the school of education wanafanya SNE in terms of sign language especially, wanaweza kuwa wanakuja kutrain, na wakienda teaching practices they can be able to train the other students there. And this is actually the start of it, because you can see there we have A to Z, but actually we have trained with 3 because ABC, because of the time period that the university gave us, and because for this thing to capture this thing is not that easy, because for example the data that I used, it indicates that 0 is for letter A, number 1 is for letter B, and 2 is for letter C, meaning venye nilionyesha 100 times ilikataa ku capture, nikabidi nimeiweka 300 times, no wonder sasa tukaipata that images. You see that this is 300 times, and that's now my project. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause. Asante sana. So our judges, I don't know if there's anything to do before we move to the next. Or a question.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Victor, for this very brilliant idea and a very good presentation. Maybe just one question or two, just which you can think about as you continue growing your idea. I'm wondering, which sign language are you trying to translate? Because I think the American Sign Language has several apps that are helping now translate. You may need to look at what is unique about yours. Probably if you narrow it down to the Kenyan Sign Language, for instance, have you tried to look at the other translators?
Yeah, I've seen.
Okay, what is unique about yours comparing to the other?
Mine is that venye nilikuja up to the idea, I wanted first to confirm that it actually works.
Okay.
So right now that I've seen that it actually works, now that niko na time sasa sign in advance, so that I can make sure that I capture all of that, especially our Kenyan Sign Language.
Yeah, I think so, because I know there are other apps that are doing it, that are already registered. Probably what could be unique about yours, if you can focus on the Kenyan Sign Language.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our first presenter. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. I'm not sure, are we allowed to pick questions from the audience? It's okay. So asante sana, our second presenter. Please take your stage. And you're open for presentation. Karibu.
Good afternoon. My name is Austin Ager with my partner here.
My name is William Lemiso.
So, to our able judges, we have a presentation of a smart walking stick for the blind. The smart walking stick for the blind. So, the description of our innovation. Why did it came into our mind to come up with this innovation? This innovation is designed to embrace the mobility and safety of visually impaired individuals by integrating ultrasonic sensing technology with tactile and visual feedback. Our system provides real-time obstacle detection, allowing users to navigate unfamiliar environment. Our smart walking stick, we have a ultrasonic, and we've connected it with the Arduino. That one helps to detect the obstacle in the environment and allow the blind person to navigate the unfamiliar environment. The ultrasonic sensor is mounted near the base of the PVC pipe. A PVC pipe is a pipe that you can see from this end to the other end, and it is light. We use a pipe of 0.25 kgs. So we are saying the ultrasonic sensor is mounted near the base of the PVC pipe, continuously emit higher frequency sound waves, and these waves bounce off nearby objects and return to the sensor. Once the waves bounce back near to the sensor, is programmed to calculate the time interval between emission and reception to determine the exact distance, so that additional walking stick, it doesn't provide the signal that there is danger. And with this one, it provides the signal that there is danger. For instance, if someone has fallen down, a normal person who is visually able can detect that there is a danger and they can run to help. Number 3, limited independence. We look at these visually impaired people. They cannot easily accept areas where people are because they can't navigate to those areas due to walking problems. So with the smart walking stick, they are able to reach in different areas and socialize with the people. We look at the innovation impact to the society. Number 1, we talk of creation of job opportunities for our youth. So my innovation of a smart walking stick, it uses very simple and very cheap object that you can really acquire from our shops, and after making them, after getting some funds, I will be able to expand it so that I employ our youths who are jobless in our home so that they sell it. Number 3, empowerment of vulnerable groups. We are seeing that these vulnerable people, they are not powered, but through using a smart walking stick, they feel like they are powered, they are valued, and they can reach into any destination that they want. Then number 3 is technological growth. We use the local tools that are available to build the smart walking stick. The innovation impact to the environment. Number 1, it is easily accessible and reliable. So we talk about the tools that we use are easily accessible and reliable. We can get them easily and their price is not higher. So, and also the smart walking stick that we are coming up with, we know that there is a smart walking stick that they can import from US, but it costs 50,000 Kenyan shillings. But with that one, it cannot be afforded with middle people. People who are not working. People are not having some sources of income. So with this one of ours, it is easily accessible because we will use tools that are readily available in our different shops here, and we make a smart walking stick. With this smart walking stick, if the one imported cost 50,000, ours we will sell it even at 7,000, so that we empower the impaired people in our society. Then material used are environmental friendly. When we look at our materials that we use, the PVC pipe, the materials are environmental friendly in a way that they don't pollute the environment. And in a way of, even if one breaks, as compared to the one that is being imported, if one breaks, if one part breaks, you replace the whole part of it. You replace the whole thing. But with this one of ours, we buy these materials, and if one part breaks, we now go to the shop, we buy that particular one, and we replace. And the visually impaired person will continue navigating. Then, number 3, we talk of longevity. Longevity simply means time, period. This one of ours, using the PVC pipe, we will have to program the PVC pipe. By the moment it is going through the altar, when we program it, the PVC pipe becomes stronger and smart. And now we get that even when the impaired person does like this, the PVC pipe will not break easily. So the longevity, it takes longer, between even 2 to 3 years before it breaks. Then we talk of innovation sustainability. Here in innovation sustainability, we talk of affordable scaling, where we've said, yes, we know it exists, but can it be accessible with people from village areas, people with a low income? For example, I've said it cost, the one imported cost 50,000. And we know in Kenya we have 7.5 million people who are visually impaired. So what will we do? The affordable scaling. We scale it, we price it at a level that each and every person can afford it in the environment. Then institutional support here. I will visit our research office to give us some funds so that we can produce our smart walking stick in a large scale. Then external partnership. For example, I will register with the NGOs. You know, the NGOs, they come to save people, So when I register with the NGOs, they will come buy from me. After buying from me, they go and sell. Not they sell, but they give to people freely, because NGOs, they help people. When they are having some, when they move from different areas, they go and help some people. I'm talking about the innovation resources required. Number 1, I must talk of the targeted market. Our target market for this innovation is for visually impaired persons. That is our main target market. Then number 2 target market is the special needs schools, that is universities and other primary schools. And then in our innovation resources, we are saying that it requires cheap labor, and it is low cost and high alternative. When we talk of high alternative, we say that we are able to get this material in our shops. Yeah, and then the material here that we use is Arduino Uno, the ultrasonic sensors, the PVC pipe, the software, that is the Python, just to program the distance of the object and to program the Arduino so that the ultrasonic sound can sense that there is an object in front of you. And then we have a LED light, a jumper wire, and a 9-volt battery and a clip. And we talk of the partnership and collaboration on the innovation. Number 1 is the Bomet University Research Office. I will partner with the Bomet University Research Office to fund me so that I can produce my smart walking stick in a large scale. And with that also, I will even be able, when I produce them in large scale, I will even be able to employ some youths and create job opportunity for them. Then number 3 is the Kenya Institute for the Blind. When you look at the Kenyan economy, there is money that is being created that is used to help the visually impaired persons. So if I register with the Kenya Institute for the Blind, they will be able to buy it. Next is commercialization. We say of competitive pricing. And then we talk of the NGO partnership, e.g. the Light for the World Kenya. And I will also register with the National Council for People with Disabilities. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Another round of applause. Thank you so much. Our judges, you have the floor.
William Lemiso. So the idea is very okay, and it is actually nice. There is only some concerns that I wish to know. Will it be only used to actually maybe identify an obstacle? Or what about even in case there is a well or a borehole which is open just in front of a blind person? What are we going to say about it even in case a blind man or a blind woman just go near a well? Will your sensor also assist to support the same? Number 2, apart from the sound that is being produced, are you also able to integrate something like a watch so that just in case there are some other sounds from elsewhere, this blind man or woman cannot be interfered with? So you kindly give me only those.
Thank you. The first one I've not gotten clearly, but the second one I've gotten. So you said of the second one that will we invent something like a watch? Now in this one of ours, we will not invent something like a watch, but we will be connecting it with Bluetooth so that once the sound rings, you are even able to hear it. That visually impaired is able to hear it here in the ear. Yeah, but for the sound, either for emergency, someone can come and help. Yeah, so maybe the first question.
Thank you. My question is about the PVC pipe, in terms of size. What is the size? And how are you going to hold the battery and the Arduino? Remembering that the Arduino is a very sensitive component in terms of safety. So if in case it is a hole, okay? So the safety of the Arduino, how are you going to place it in the PVC so that there is no regular maintenance of the Arduino?
Thank you so much. For the PVC pipe, it should be 4 centimeters. Something like not 1 meter, but let us say, yeah, let it be 1 meter because someone will be walking like this. It should be 1 meter. Then the Arduino is very sensitive, the way you've said. So how we will fix it? We have a gum that we place here, and then that Arduino, it has some vitu kama chuma chuma huku, alafu kaivi. Then it becomes so tight. Yes. They have one. I didn't prepare one because the research office. Okay. Yes.
A quick one. I'm just trying to think through your idea. It's very brilliant, actually, and necessary. I don't know. Are you going to add a component that will help the blind person interpret the distance? You say there's going to be some sound that the sound comes to the ear. You're going to have some earpiece as part of the apparatus?
Yes, so what I'm saying is a Bluetooth. We have a Bluetooth. So we connect a Bluetooth. We program the Bluetooth with the Arduino and the sensor. So once there is an object, the sensor, the Arduino and the sensor, it has been programmed in a way that if there is an object, you hear here at the ears, and it tells you that there is an object.
So it will tell the distance.
It
It can
will-
be able to tell the distance.
Yes.
Okay, it's a good idea. I'm just thinking also like on the line that he asked, is it possible probably to have it in a size where it can be inside a PVC, some protective measure, so that it's not on top of the stick, but it's somewhere inside us, in a way that it's protected?
Yes, because even we will be using some wires, so the Arduino will be covered. It will be covered, but the sensor, you know, the sensor has two eyes. So the two eyes are the things that will be out to sense if there is an object in front, because that is the sensor.
Thank you. And maybe the first question that our first judge asked is it able to tell if there is a hole, or you know, or is it only designed to sense objects? Can it also sense a hole and give feedback to the user that there is a hole, or?
Thank you for the question. Maybe I can answer. It is not actually able to detect a hole, but it can be able to detect an object, probably 10 to 15 centimeters ahead. But once you accidentally get into a hole, definitely the walking stick will get involved into an object, maybe the ground. So the Arduino will produce a sound. So the normal person passing around will hear a sound inside the hole, so you can be able to rescue the person.
Thank you so much. A round of applause to the team. Asante sana. So in no clear order, is the next presenter ready? Any next presenter is ready? Sorry? Oh, there are two. Okay. So, judges, please note that they are presenting two. Please take to the stage.
So we have the second. So we have our second innovation. And our second innovation is about a Bluetooth CCTV camera. So in a description of the innovation, our innovation is all about a CCTV Bluetooth camera, so it is a wireless. So you have a high sensitive or high value camera, and you connect it with a Bluetooth device. So it's designed to enhance a wireless autonomous edge CCTV Bluetooth camera, enhancing security in our private and public places to enhance the safety. So the problem of the innovation is all about insecurity in private and public areas. So normally in our areas, you see the normal CCTV that have been installed, but they have their wires connected from the source to the receiver. But ours, it's a seamless. It is a wireless device that connects the information from the camera, then takes to this Bluetooth and connects to the device. That can be your smartphone. So it is a high installation cost. It is actually cheap to install because it doesn't require a high technical or a high trained person, but rather you can just install it as individually. Then it reduces the high crime rate. Once there is CCTV, one can be able to avoid the instances of theft cases. The innovation impact to the society, and one of course is that it creates job opportunities for the youths, because you can employ, you can train your brother, your sister, your friend, and after that you'll be a self-employed person. Then it enhances state surveillance. You can mount it on a wall, and once you have mounted on the wall, you can be able to monitor your area to avoid the theft cases. You can connect it on the wall and have it and operate. You can observe your place on your, you can stream it live on your phone. So you'll be able to reduce the theft cases. The second, technological growth, because it is wireless, and we are advancing it more from the initial one that is connected with wireless from the source to the receiver. So ours is actually a wireless device. So we are at least trying to advance the technology. Our innovations impact to the environment, and it is easily accessible and reliable, and material used are environmentally free, because we are trying to avoid the issue of wires, the connecting wires. So we are trying to look for alternatives that are environmentally friendly to avoid the environmental pollution. Then it reduces the cost of spending. The issue of installation or acquiring the technical personnel reduces that cost of installations. Innovation, sustainability, affordable scaling. You can put it at a lower prices than the normal market with the present one. So ours being the locally made, you can sell it at a cheaper price quite. Institutional support, and that you talk about the Bomet University as a research office, then they can chip in and provide the necessary resources so that we can able to come up with more ideas on that. Then external partnership, you can partner with the security agencies, and we can be able to get more on and provide and be able to put away the issue of theft cases. The innovation resources required, targeted market, like cheap labor, low cost and high alternative. The Bluetooth module prototype. So we'll need a Bluetooth prototype that'll be able to connect as a receiver. You'll be able to connect with a smartphone as our receiver. Then we also require a high definition camera. It can be a phone camera. So you can be able to observe what is taking place in our areas. Partnership and collaboration on the innovation. Partnership with the research office, software and cyber security, grants and loans from financial institutions. Commercialization of the innovation. Competitive pricing, using of YouTubes and other social media spaces, and telecommunications and cyber security. Thank you.
Maybe let me add something, our judges. So the thing that makes our Bluetooth CCTV camera unique from the CCTV that is existing is that the CCTV that is existing, it is physical. You can see it even if you are coming to steal. Even if you are coming to rob a certain company, you can see it that it is there. And you are just going to switch off the power for you to steal. But this one of ours, it doesn't use power. We only use a Bluetooth, and we buy a battery of 9 volts. So even if there is power blockout, you are still able to monitor the movement of even your employees or the movement of people in your business, for example, a supermarket. Also, our CCTV is very small because we use this phone camera in a very small box, very small. And we can place it anywhere, even here, inside this cloth, but we only make sure that the phone cameras are able to see the whole area. And the one that is existing, it is big. and actually you can see it, that there is a CCTV here. Thank you.
Asante sana, a round of applause. Thank you so much. Judges.
Thank you for the good presentation. My question is on the distance of the camera.
The distance from the camera to the receiver is actually around, actually let me say the distance you can take for around 2 to 3, 5 meters or around 100 meters. Let me say 100 meters actually.
Now,
The range of 100 meters squarely.
so you are going to use the phone camera.
Yeah, no, we can use a phone camera only to mount the CCTV camera on top. But rather, you'll at the end, you'll connect it with a Bluetooth device on your smartphone. So you can be able to monitor the movement just within.
Now, my question is in terms of sustainability, charging, because the phone camera again also needs some charge to be charged.
The camera, when you mount the camera with a Bluetooth device, it is rechargeable. It is rechargeable. So during a particular time, when you feel that maybe it's going on low of power, you can charge it, recharge it. So it is rechargeable.
I'm wondering how different it is from the normal spy cameras we have. I don't know if you know some of these spy cameras, the ones you find in a bulb, the nanny cameras, the ones you can find on a keyhole. Have you seen those ones? They are usually wireless, they don't have wires, and they're very tiny. They're called spy cameras. Have you read about them or come across any?
No, on myself.
Okay, probably you'll need to, because you want to know how unique or innovative your idea is so that you're not redoing what is already in the market. So you may want to find out if there are any spy cameras, and then you want to also think in terms of how is it going to be better than what we have currently, because most of those spy cameras are using wireless internet, and in that case you can actually use it from a distance, unlike Bluetooth, which needs you to be near that gadget. And in this case, then it will beat logic, because if you want to secure your place, you want to secure it when you are not near the place. So if it requires you to be near there so that your Bluetooth can connect, then I think it will have gaps. Maybe think through that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. A job well done. Thank you, BU students, for taking the bar high. Asanteni sana. May we have a round of applause for them? Thank you. So our next innovator, our next presenter, Karibu sana. Just as they clear. If you need assistance, our ICT guy is here.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon. I'm Cherotich Masi from the School of Arts and Social Sciences, taking Bachelor of Arts in Geography.
I'm Sharon Chepchumba.
So we were able to come out with the innovation of preparation of apple medicine using a Ethiopian oregano plant. And our innovation objective was to, the introduction itself, the plant itself is also known as, its scientific name is Planktranus aponicus, also known as Indian porridge, and it has a Mexican mint or Spanish thyme that is a medical plant widely used in traditional apple medicine. We have the problem of the innovation in solving respiratory problems like the asthma, bronchitis, and tuberculosis, digestive problems, skin infection and wounds, fever reduction, headache, immune system, support, menstruation, pain relief. We have innovation impact to the society. It enhances in treatment of cough and cold, relief of sore and throat, treatment of digestive disorders such as stomach pain, healing of skin infection and wounds, relief of asthma and respiratory problems. We have the innovation impact to the environment, both the positive and negative impacts. The positive part of it is that it reduces the number of deaths in the society, improve the number of fertility rates, and reduce the cost of buying a processed medicine. They are cheaply acquired they are cheaply to be acquired and obtained. Then the negative part of it may cause extinction of Cupian plants, as many products of the plant will be needed to be used in production of the apple medicine. The innovation sustainability, as the niche of our university is the green sustainability for economy. The environmental sustainability, as it is friendly to the environment, it doesn't require any processing, and there is no production of some gases that are harmful. Economic sustainability, it is cheaply to be obtained and processed. Social sustainability, research and knowledge sustainability, sustainable production practices. We have innovation resources required, the raw materials, the fresh part of the leaves, clean water, natural preservatives, the equipment, we have the mortar and pestle, clean knives and chopping boards or the scalpel, saucer or boiling pot, sieve, or a clean clothes. The partnership and collaboration, we came together with the partnership with our university and a research center to help us the safety and effectiveness of the apple medicine. The government agencies, we were to get in partnership with the government, such as health ministries and apple medicine, and ensure quality standard. Local farmers to help us in the growing of Cupian oregano to reduce the shortages. We have the appolist and traditional leaders. The commercialization of the innovation, product development, preparing apple products such as Cupian oregano, apple tea, the syrup, oil, and apple extract. The packaging, we use the clean bottles or containers, proper labeling showing ingredients and usage instruction, quality control, the high hygiene during preparation, like cleaning of the leaves and obtaining the fresh leaves, the testing of the product to ensure safety of human beings. Thank you. So in the application of the artificial intelligence, we came up with a mission of controlling or regulating the growth of the Cupian oregano plant in different areas or different seasons in the part of the environment, globally, no, regionally and globally, so that we can manage to control their population.
Okay, I'll be taking it to show you the leaf itself. This is the leaf, and we use, this is the pistol and mortar.
You
We
can
use
present it to the
crush.
judges to see. You can present it them here.
Okay, in preparation of it, we first obtain the leaves. This is the leaf itself, fresh. Then we use this mortar and a pistol to crush it so that we can get that medicinal oil or the juice. We measure water. For our case, we use 250 ml of water. We boil, then the water itself, that leaf that we had crushed, we mix with cold water, then we sieve to separate that water and the leaves that is already crushed. So This one, okay, from the leaf, this one is the crushed copian oregano leaves. Then after adding cold water, oh, yeah, this one is the product. That one you can take, and before you take, you add honey, yeah, and drink while warm. You can take twice a day, depending on the problem that you have. Yeah.
Okay. In addition to that, we were able to test the pH of our final product, and we used the litmus paper, the blue litmus paper, to test the pH of the final product, and we were able to obtain it to see that it is less acidic and it is useful or safe for a person who has stomach complication. As for nowadays, in health sectors, you will find that sometimes you are being told you are not supposed to take a certain medicine due to ulcers or stomach complication. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the presentation. Judges?
Okay, lucky enough, I'm a chemistry teacher, so I'm just trying to understand what is the pH of the resulting solution.
The pH of the result product is 8.5, which means it is less acidic.
Well, now, what about the content of the Cabano? It is called Cabano organoblant. What is the content of this substance?
We were able to use 12 leaves of Cuban oregano leaves.
Okay,
It depends with the amount that you are going to
Just a
prepare.
minute. I am asking, what is the content, the medicinal content inside this plant, which will actually assist to deal with the fever and all those that we have talked about? Kindly.
Okay, for the content, we were not able to note the content due to the various application of this medicine. It depends with the type of the health issue. Like the skin part of, when you have the complication of the skin diseases, you will just the crush part of the leaf. Yes.
Okay, maybe you may need to do a bit more research like as proposed. Probably you may want to know the chemical components of that leaf that makes it medicinal, so that as you explain yourself, someone will understand how you think it can actually work. And then I'm trying to just get how you introduced the AI component to it. I'm trying to understand. You said that you're going to use AI to control the population of the plant?
Yeah, due to its availability and the application in checking the temperatures of the final product.
Oh. So have you thought of what that can be? What kind of AI you're going to employ?
No, but we are about to carry out a research to know how AI application can be done. Thank you.
Makofi jamani, makofi. Asanteni sana our innovators. That was a good one. Thank you so much. Our next innovator, our next presenter, in no particular order. Karibuni sana, take your stage. Make sure you introduce yourself well and clearly for the judges to note.
Our judges, students, innovators, good afternoon. Today, we are going to present our innovation theme is utilization of banana peels waste into eco-friendly vinegar as a strategy of environmental conservation. Brief description: most people, they are disposing the waste banana peels without knowing that those peels are very useful and can be converted to get useful and important products such as vinegar, and also can be used in various ways. The problem that has made us to come up with this innovation is large amount of banana is being disposed in schools, homes, and other institutions. This has made pollution and disposal of bananas and has led to bad odor. Also, it has created the unfavorable environments because of emission of gases such as methane and other main gases that are very harmful to the human being. Our main objectives is to convert those banana peels and ensure that they are very useful and they can be used and they can be recycled and be reused again to produce the useful substances. And also, to reduce the environmental pollution due to wastage of disposal, and also ensure there is minimizing the accumulation of banana peels in various places in Kenya. Our innovation impact to the society is to ensure that most youths be employed through this innovation are going to be employed. We want also to ensure that the community is very aware with our innovation, and also to make sure that there is cheap and low production of a vinegar. Our innovation impact to the environment is to reduce the biodegradation, to ensure there is no pollution to the environment. We want also to reduce the green gases emission to the environment, and also to promote the recycling and the reuse of those agricultural waste products. Sustainability. We want to ensure there is continuity because those peels are being disposed in various places, so they are very available. We are going to use them to ensure there is sustainable continuity. We want to ensure there is long-term environmental conservation, and also we want to ensure there is simple and also low production of vinegar. Our innovation resources that we used, I think I will demonstrate so that you see how we can produce vinegar using peels of bananas. You can use the green peels, and also you can use the ripe one, but we decided to use the ripe because in terms of fermentation, it ferments faster as compared to the green one. So, first of all, the procedure that we used is you remove the peels. Just show them.
chopping, you place in the mortar, then you crush. The reason for doing that is to increase the surface area for the bacteria acting in here. Now, those bacteria in present here convert the reducing sugar to non-reducing sugar. And then at here, we have sugar. We add this the sugar so that to be the source of what? Source of food for those bacteria. Yes? Thereafter, we add acetic acids, this one, to catalyze the reaction. Actually, this reaction takes exactly 1 week. Yes. Thereafter, after 1 week, we strain the mixture. Therefore, this is it. This is not the real vinegar. We can test now the pH.
It's going to show you how we did a small sample. We can show you. Our result is here. This is a vinegar. We produced a small sample after we did our small experiments. This shows that it is acidic. Initially it was blue, now it's red. After we did our samples, you can testify and see it is a red color, and also when you try to test, bring it close to your nose, you will hear some bad odor production, and also you can see the color. It is brown in color. This is a sample, and sugar we use is for fermentation. This acetic acid was to convert the alcohol that was formed before vinegar formed. It converts the alcohol into vinegar, which is here. Now, after there, you get the result. We produced a quality of vinegar. Thank you.
Thank you so much, team. Thank you for that good presentation, innovative ideas. We thank you for that. Judges?
Okay, thank you so much. This is, sorry. It's Pius and Enoch. I think it's a very innovative idea in that it will help us in trying to control the waste coming from ripe bananas. But I'm just wondering loudly, why did you need the acetic acid and yet vinegar itself is acetic acid? Actually, what you do in the fermentation, the ultimate product you want is formation of an acid. Why did you want to add the acid again? I'm not a biochemist or a chemist, but just basic knowledge I have. I know vinegar is acetic acid.
Yeah.
And now why are you adding acetic acid in the production of vinegar again?
Okay, thank you for your question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not necessary we use acetic acid. We can use another yeast because we have other yeasts that act as acetic acid to convert the alcohol into vinegar. We can use yeast, act as catalyst. Catalyst is to speed up the reaction. In short, is to accelerate the reaction to vinegar. Thank you.
So thank you so much. I think, of course, I know the other vinegar is usually produced using yeast. it could make sense if you used it, but the innovation part probably is the use of the ripe banana peels.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So how do you relate that to AI?
Okay. I can say that this, our innovation, we relate it to AI because AI, we apply AI to monitor the pH. You have to monitor the pH. It can predict temperature regulation because also temperature can affect the fermentation process. So AI can predict the fermentation process. It also predict the amount of pills that you have corrected in a certain press or institution, and ratio of the amount we have produced. Good quality also AI we can apply to produce good yield and ensure there is sustainable production of vinegar. Thank you.
Okay, maybe just a concern in future.
Yeah.
Instead of using acetic acid, just like what Dr. has said,
yes,
you can introduce the use of hydrogen peroxide, whose pH lies within 7. Number 2,
yeah,
the use of sugar here.
yeah,
I think already the waste itself has some sugar. So I'm not seeing the need of you introducing the sugar in future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. But let me add something. Because we use sugar to accelerate the fermentation. Because if even it have some sugar, but this sugar you cannot compare with this one for pills, because this one will accelerate if you want maybe a specific time or period, for example 14 weeks, you can use this one so that you want to produce vinegar within 14 days. This one will help you. And if you want to take long time, you can apply only pills. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The reason why I'm talking about sugar is because you realize sometimes sugar contains some chemicals.
Yeah.
Long time ago, we heard about mercury. And now also you realize it will affect the outcome of your component.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause. Thank you so much. I think we're doing well. Thank you for the innovative ideas. As we usher in our next presenter, Karibu Sana, you can request for assistance from our IT. Just as I was saying, thank you for the innovative ideas. Indeed, we're really going green. We're growing AI. We thank you for those great ideas. Karibuni Sana for your next presentation.
judges, and other distinguished guests, good afternoon. My name is Abubakar Osman. Allow me to present to you my innovation. The title goes, Conversion of Plastics to Fuel, that is diesel and petrol. To begin with, plastic waste is one of the biggest environmental challenges of our time, clogging landfills, polluting oceans, and harming ecosystems. But what if we could turn this problem into a solution? So my project, Conversion of Plastics to Fuel, does that by transforming waste plastics into usable diesel and petrol through innovative pyrolysis and catalytic conversion processes. By tackling plastic pollution while generating alternative energy, we are paving the way for a cleaner and more sustainable future. Description of the innovation: conversion of plastics to fuel, in bracket diesel and petrol. So it's a process to transform waste plastics into usable fuels through pyrolysis and catalytic conversion. It aims to address plastic waste management and energy needs in Bomet County, Kenya as a nation, and the world at large. So the problem innovation is solving, it is plastic waste accumulation and environmental pollutions in our environment, inadequate waste management infrastructure, and the increasing energy resources supply amid the escalating war in the Middle East countries. Innovation impact to the society. There's reduction of plastic pollution, giving out alternative energy source, and potential job creation for community benefits. Innovation impact to the environment. There is decreased plastic waste, less plastics ends up in landfills or ecosystem, thus protecting wildlife and reducing pollution. It promotes sustainable practices. It encourages reducing, reusing, and recycling pollution. That's 3 R's. Another point, reduced greenhouse gas emission. Burning plastics or producing fuel, fossil fuels, contributes to emission. This process is more eco-friendly. Innovation sustainability. It uses readily available plastic waste materials, potential for growth and adoption. Potential for growth and adoption in other regions. It converts plastic waste to fuel resources, hence reducing landfill waste. Our innovation, conversion of plastics to fuel, contributes to several UN Sustainable Development Goals. So it contributes to SDG number 7, that's affordable and clean energy, produces alternative energy from waste, promoting cleaner energy, access. Also SDG number 11, sustainable cities and communities, that is, reduces plastic pollution in urban areas, contributing to cleaner communities. Also SDG number 12, responsible consumption and production. It converts waste plastics into valuable resources, promoting circular economy practices. SDG number 13 also, climate action. It minimizes emission from waste burning and fossil fuel extraction, supporting climate mitigation. Innovation is also required. Also, we need plastic waste materials which are readily available. We need a source of heat, reactor vessels, condenser, hose pipe, catalyst, that is, we will use zinc oxide, and safety gadgets. The setup is plastic collection and sorting, pre-treatment, pyrolysis, condensation, separation and refining, fuel testing, then storage and distribution as the last step. Partnering and collaboration on the innovation. Bomet University, through the Office of Research, Innovation and Development, we can also partner with local authority, that's Bomet County Administration, industry partners in the county, nation, and the world at large. So by transforming urban and waste plastics into diesel and petrol, we are tackling pollution and contributing to energy security. This innovation reduces plastic waste in landfills and ecosystems. It also generates alternative fuel, easing pressure on fossil fuel. It creates jobs in waste collection and conversion. So with funding support, we can scale up, refine the process, and make a tangible impact on plastic pollution and energy access in Bomet County and beyond. We are not just converting waste to fuel, we are converting a problem into a progress. So commercialization of the innovation. We have industry collaboration. We can partner with energy companies or starting up industries for production. Also licensing or patenting to protect the process for commercial use and the rights of the person who started the project. So with me, I have the prototype. I made that fuel from the plastic, and I would like to test it in front of you judges. I'll have to test this fuel by burning. Then I light up a matchstick. Kindly you can put on your safety gadgets. You can see it's lighting up. That's our fuel. Petrol and diesel. That's petrol and diesel. So for you to separate this diesel and petrol, you'll have to carry out fractional distillation. So petrol will distill at 30 degrees to 200 degrees Celsius, and diesel will distill at 180 degrees Celsius to 360 degrees Celsius. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A round of applause. Back to our judges. Karibuni sana. Any question, any comment?
Would like to see the fuel. This fuel, what? I would like you to tell us the production of the production process.
So as I've just informed you, after assembling those materials, you will have to, I've already given you a setup, the procedure of how you will go about it. Kindly, if I may refer to that process for you to have a look at it. It's there, the setup. After I assembled these materials, this is the setup that I used. I gathered and sort plastic waste by type. So the materials that I specifically used are these bottle plastics that we throw them outside our environment. Then I did pre-treatment. That is, I just cleaned them to remove dust and other impurities. Then the main setup number 3, I did pyrolysis. That is heating in absence of oxygen. Pyrolysis, that is heating in absence of oxygen. Then condensation. I cooled and condensed vapors into liquid fuel. The thing that I've not done, I've not separated or I've not refined. Then I did the testing.
Diesel. This is petrol. Do you have the diesel product? Or this is a combination?
It's a combination. I've not separated. For me to separate, I'll have to go deeper. I'll have to carry out fractional distillation, of which I've said diesel will distill at 180 degrees Celsius to 360 degrees Celsius. Then petrol will distill at 30 degrees Celsius to 200 degrees Celsius.
What is
this
the
one
cost?
is mixed.
What is the cost of production? Do you have the rough cost of production?
The cost of production is relatively very cheap because the materials are readily available. Most materials are readily available. The plastics, I can collect these plastics of yours. Those are the major component that will aid me in producing this fuel. Also, you need a source of heat. Now there, you can use the local firewood to heat up that those plastics in a closed chamber.
Another question. So you mean even this plastic contains fuel?
Sorry?
This plastic, it contains diesel and petrol.
Yes, it contains diesel and petrol.
Very sure?
Very sure.
Okay. How much of this do you require to obtain 1 liter of the mixture?
So I can say per kg of this plastic waste materials, I will obtain 0.6 to 0.8 liters of this substance, liquid substance.
I think congratulations for the brilliant idea. I'm just trying to figure out how did you do the purification, and usually I'm just thinking in my wild mind. I'm not a manufacturer like you are. So I'm thinking like when you burn these bottles, you produce some kind of dark colored fumes, you said? And then those fumes are the ones which you're going to condense into liquid fuel. Do you have like, I don't know, I'm thinking, I don't know if you have some specialized equipment to help you clean it up. I'm wondering because I'm trying to figure out if you're just heating it with firewood. If you heat it with firewood, you'll find it's like they melt together and make a compact solid. How will you heat it to those temperatures that you were mentioning? You said 200 degrees.
Yes, I've said for you to separate this substance of yours to acquire petrol and diesel, you'll have to distill, to do fractional distillation of 200 degrees Celsius. I mean 30 degrees Celsius to 200 degrees Celsius. That is when you are going to acquire petrol, and carrying another fractional distillation to acquire diesel. That is fractional distillation of about 180 degrees Celsius to 360 degrees Celsius.
Okay, thank you.
Asante sana. A round of applause. Thank you so much to our innovator. That was indeed good and innovative. So I'm not sure if we are left with any other innovator, any presenter left. Thank you. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Sorry. So make sure you introduce yourself clearly for the judges to note. If you need assistance with the with IT, just let us know. Have the mic over there. Are we left with any other presenter? Do we still have any other? Yes. 2, right? Okay, so that's 1 and 2. It's okay. Just for noting, huh? Just for noting. So as they are setting up, just remember our theme, artificial intelligence as a transformative technology, how we incorporate IT, how we incorporate AI into our normal daily lives. Can someone offer us a laptop? Thank you. So as they're setting up, for the next presenters, if you need some setting up to do, maybe you can do it just before the presentation. And if you need assistance, we can assist where we can, so that as you come here, you're prepared for the presentation.
Okay, judges present, lecturers and fellow innovators. God is good. My name is Mkanga Samuel. My project is AI-based automatic fire sensor using solar panel. So the description of this project, let me repeat, AI-based automatic fire sensor using solar panel. Description of this innovation. This project is an intelligence fire detection and response system. It is powered by renewable solar energy. It is designed to automatically detect fire outbreak. So in real time and respond it instantly to reduce damage and improve safety. The system uses sensors like flame and smoke sensor to connect it to a microcontroller like Arduino Uno. These sensors continuously monitor the environment for any sign of fire. Once fire is detected, the system uses AI-based logic to analyze the situation and trigger any immediate response. The problem the innovation is solving, fire can start suddenly in home, school, office, or remote areas, and often spread quickly before any notice. Many fire incidences occur because they may occur because early signs like smoke, heat, or flame are not detected in time. This delay can lead to loss of life, property damage, and environmental impact like pollution. Innovation impact to the society. It saves life where early detection of fire. It allows people to evacuate safely before a fire is spread. There is protection of property, where home, school, and offices are safeguarded against fire. It promotes safety awareness, where widespread use of such system, they encourage community to adopt smart and proactive fire prevention measures. The innovation to the environment. It reduces carbon emission, it uses clean energy, and also it promotes sustainability. Innovation sustainability of this innovation or project, it uses renewable power source like solar energy, so it ensures the system runs continuously without relying on electricity. It is doable, and also it is scalable, like you can connect it in home, farm, and school. So what do we require to make this project? We need relay, Arduino, solar panel. We also need a computer device to make the system work perfectly. We can partner with learning institution and national government, e.g. emergency services or fire station. So in summary, this is how the system works. Like this one is a flame sensor. A flame sensor, it senses when there is eruption of flame, and then it sends signal to Arduino Uno. Arduino Uno will trigger the relay to make this buzzer to produce sound. Let's make it practically. You can see it is sensing there is flame. And also you can hear there is a sound somewhere. It is automated, it is automatic. The last time. So we coded the system to sense a flame at around 10 centimeter, a distance of only 10 centimeter. But we can still advance it more by improvising many devices to make or to save lives within our society. That is my presentation. Yes? AI-based automatic fire sensor system. AI-based automatic fire, yes? It uses by use of solar, AI-based automatic fire sensor system by use of solar. So solar is to charge our battery. Battery is here. We are using solar because I say that it uses renewable sources of energy. You don't need to rely on electricity. You know, electricity is too expensive. Yes? I'm Samuel Mukanga.
Asante sana. Thank you, Samuel, for the presentation. A round of applause for Samuel. Asante sana. To you, judges.
You have a very nice innovation.
Yes.
And it's actually working. I'm glad to see that. Only one question. Now that, for instance, we have an emerging issue whereby our president, His Excellency Daktari William Ruto, is now coming up with so many houses. I hope you are aware. The affordable houses. Assuming now that the sound is actually being heard from somewhere, are we able to identify which house is on fire?
Yes, we connected it with the with the computer. So sorry, it's not working for now because of some issues. I connected with the computer to tell this house, there is eruption of fire in a certain house. So when you have many houses, we can install many sensors. You can install many sensors and also code using a computer to show that there is a house somewhere that is burning.
Okay, I hope also in the future you can integrate maybe the use of a module which will actually send an SMS specifying the house which is actually on fire in the future, God willing.
Yes.
As per the title here, it's only senses, but it does not extinguish. It's only give an alert.
So it's giving people an alert to make a quick reaction, like evacuating quickly. So you can remember there's a time when schools were being banned, students were dying. So in that scenario, they need to evacuate quickly before it causes any damage to them.
In classification of fires, there is a fire class A, B, C, and D, okay? But I've seen, does it sense maybe when somebody is cooking, okay? Then there is another fire by electricity, I think class C. Are you specific on the classes?
No, it sense all.
I think it's a very good idea. Probably, I want to think you are creating a sensor, a fire sensor alarm, and not the extinguisher. Okay. So I think it's a good idea. I'm just wondering, Lordly, how you're going to apply AI in this case.
So AI, it is applied. How is it applied? Like this one, our Arduino Uno, it just act like an AI. It sends signal to different components like relay and this buzzer to produce sound. So just like that, it is connected to a computer. So we need to connect it to a computer to react or to take any action without any human intervention.
Thank you so much, Samuel. A round of applause again. Asante sana, Samuel. That's a good presentation, an innovative presentation. So moving on to the next presenter. Can we have the next presenter, please? We have two presenters left. Can we have the next presenter? Yes. Karibu sana. Oh, sorry. There is one presenter already setting up. So when you're ready, you take the mic. I think the mic is here. That's the mic. So remember to begin by introducing yourself clearly for the judges to note. Okay, there you go. You can begin your presentation.
All protocols observed. Good evening. My name is Timothy Kipchumba, and I'm Stanley Otieno. We are here to present about intelligent chatbot for Bomet University College. So the description of the innovation is universities generate and manage large volumes of information that students, staff, and visitors need to access daily. These information are from academic program details and admission requirements to fee structures, library services, and student welfare resources. This information is often scattered across multiple offices, web pages, and documents, making it difficult to retrieve quickly and efficiently. So we came about a project. This project presents the development of an intelligent chatbot designed specifically for this institution, Bomet University. So the chatbot provides a single conversation interface through which any user can obtain accurate information instantly at any time of the day without the need to visit an office, navigate complex web pages, or wait for email responses. So the problems the innovation is solving. So some of the problems that our innovation is solving is number one is the repetitive inquiries at the offices. So the staff at registrar, admissions, and student services handle the same questions daily. So this project will enable to handle such situations. Number two is the hardness to find an information. So institution information is scattered across more web pages, about more than 100 web pages. So this creates navigation barriers, especially for new students. Another problem is the after hours gap that our offices are working. So office hours limit information access. Students needing guidance outside 8 a.m. between the period of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. have no reliable digital source. Another problem is that the growing population of Bomet University College. So as the Bomet University expands across 4 schools, manual communication processes cannot scale efficiently to meet the demand. The objectives of our project is to build a conversation chatbot that allows users to ask questions in natural language and receive accurate contextual response. Number two of our objective was to create a dynamic knowledge base covering admission, programs, fees, library services, and student welfare. Number three is to develop a PIN-protected admin panel, enabling staff to update the knowledge base in real time with no technical capabilities required. Number four of our objective was to evaluate accuracy, usability, and user satisfaction through scattered testing with students and staff. Number five, this is the last objective that we are having, is to demonstrate the practical natural language processing and software development applied to a real institution communication challenge. So, how it works?
How the chatbot works? The chatbot has got 3 layers. So the first layer is the interface layer. That's what people see what the user will see when using this chatbot. It has got a floating chat button or the floating action button that when you click, it loads the page or the what do you call it? The interface where you can ask your frequently asked questions for the timely responses. The interface has got a WhatsApp style message bubble to make it feel somewhat how do we put this? Okay, I'm tensing. It has the WhatsApp style bubble to make it feel user friendly or familiar. Yeah, that's the word. Familiar to the users that since most students, visitors, and the staff in the school use WhatsApp. The interface also has got the quick reply suggestion buttons for when you've got a question that you want to ask and then the question has been highlighted. So you just click on the question so that you get the answers. The second layer of the chatbot is the brain or how it works. So the brain takes the message of the or the information that the user has typed in and splits the message into words, then strips out the normal words or the common words that are normally used to frame the questions, like how, it, and the likes. So after stripping them out, it remains with the keywords that it uses to match the characters to the ones in the database where you can find your answers. So the way it comes up with answers, you after it has splitted the words or whatever you wrote into the program, then the after it has splitted the words, it matches the keywords that have been used to write the question in. For example, when you've got a question about the admission in the Bomet University, when it sees the word admission, it automatically goes to the side of the questions or the side of the database that has got admission related questions for faster and timely response, and even some responses to be relevant to the user. And after matching these keywords, then the question with the highest score. So when I say the question with the highest score, what I mean is that when you've got a question, let's say, what are the requirements for the admission into Bomet University? So when someone goes into our portal, we're praying to God that it will be integrated into the portal. When you go there and you ask for the minimum or for the requirements to join Bomet University, you'll find that it lists the requirements and gives you the answers faster. We'll demonstrate how it works later on. The third layer of the chatbot is the knowledge base. So now, this knowledge base was, we took questions from students, the questions that students normally ask. Let's say when you want to register for units, when you want to ask something about the school activities or anything for that matter, or where the students, how they are accommodated and everything about the school, the student and staff can access these questions. So now these questions, the knowledge base, we sampled the commonly asked or the frequently asked questions from the students, and we managed to find 113 questions that students usually ask. The knowledge base or the the way we split these questions, we split them into 5 categories. The first category is the admission category, where questions about the admissions to the school are asked and relevant answers are provided, and where the answers may not be precise to whatever the user was asking, we've put a redirective response that redirects them to the offices or to the websites where they can get the exact information or the exact assistance they required. So the second category is the academics, fees and finance, student life, and the general questions that are asked by students and some visitors to the school. The features of the interface and its design. The chat interface, okay, as I said earlier, it works like the WhatsApp platform to make it feel more familiar to the users, since almost everyone has interacted with WhatsApp. So it makes it feel at least familiar to use and does not require any other direction. Or yeah, the admin panel, this is where the staff and the support staff access these questions or the data that are put into the system. So now, this admin panel, we've loaded 113 questions as of now. The admin panel is PIN protected, so to access it, you require a PIN. And when you've been given the PIN, you can go to the admin panel and add another question that is asked. Let's say when students now, as we are approaching the exam period, there's something about fee clearance, and maybe the government has not remitted the HELB or the student scholarship, but we only require all of our students to clear the school fees for the household part. So now this information, or the way they will be asking about this information, they will be asking how are we to clear this fee, or how are we to do about this thing. This question, when the staff or the people in the finance office come across it a lot, they can just decide to add the question to the chatbot. Then when the students go to the chatbot now with the questions they had about their fees and their finance, they just go there and ask the questions, then they get their responses. Now this gives the staff or the people in finance, for this case now, to have a lot of time to deal with complex matters or issues that require their attention, rather than answering the common questions that will be asked by student A, from student 1 up to maybe student 100 asking the same question. It can be tiring, and sometimes humans, yeah, we don't like repeated questions. How the bot thinks, the underhood. Okay, one, the user types the query, the questions now. You can ask a question. After you type in the question, it splits the question into the words. So first question, let's say, what are the requirements to join maybe this program, let's say computer science, and maybe it is different from the general requirements to join the university for joining the program. So now, after splitting the words, it will direct these words. It will filter first the short words, the ones that we use to phrase our question. Let's say we phrase our question by typing what is and how do we, the likes of those words. So now the bot splits and filters the common words that are used to phrase questions out, and then it matches now the keywords, the maybe school of, and then school of pure and applied sciences, program of computer science. Now those are the keywords that it will use to match the answers from the database that we have provided. Then after that, for every question that is in the database, it will take also the words from the questions and match. So now when you've got something to do with the computer science program, the School of Pure and Applied Sciences, it will match those words with the questions that are there, and then the question that has got the highest number of keywords in what the user typed, that will that its answer now it is the answer that the user will get back as the answer to their question. Yes, the impacts to the university now. It benefits the university first. It benefits the university in terms of providing students with the answers 24/7. When you are going to sleep and then remember, tomorrow we have this function in school and I'm maybe a first year student, I don't know how this works, and asking from another person may make the person to judge me or judge another student for asking stupid questions. The students now can ask those questions at any time and get their instant answers without any judgment or feeling somewhat uninformed. Then it uses English. Now this is the natural language questions. It accepts English, and most of the students that are joining this place understand English. When the questions are not found in the system, because as of now we've got limited questions, the system redirects you to the relevant offices or the website where you can get the exact questions, since this one was just to reduce the trips to the websites. So this one redirects you now to the exact place where you can get your answer, and reduces confusion for the new students. For the staff, it gives them the peace of mind, since there are fewer repeated inquiries. Yes, and it eases communication around the university. The interface. Now this is what I was talking about. Because of time, we'll just have to demonstrate how it works. So now, this is the interface. Now you can ask any question about the university through this interface, and you'll get your answers. And for people who don't know what to ask, we've highlighted some questions, like how to apply, programs offered, entry requirements, and contacts, so that they can ask them swiftly. Before we go to the admin panel, let me show you how it works. So how to apply. After you've asked how to apply, the system, the answer that we provided on how to apply, the government-sponsored students apply through CUSPs. Private students apply via admissions at bu.ac.ke. You can also download the application form from bu.ac.ke. This is the redirection I was talking about, and you can also frame a question. Try to form a question for them. Just
you can start by greeting. For example, when you type hello, the matching occurs and the response is provided. Then in the admin panel, where you can add questions, there is a 4-pin protected. So in here you can add any question. You can add here a question, for example, for a question from academics office, a question from fees and finance.
For demonstration, let's add a question in student life or the general one. The question should be what about type, what happens when people cheat in exam. Then for the answer, let's give a short answer. For now, you will be suspended for 2 years. Then you click add. So now this allows the staff or the administrators to add questions without writing or touching any code. So for the non-technical users, let's say you are from the accounts office and you don't know how to code, but you want to add a frequently asked question that you think students should be knowing, or as of this case now, the general one, we go back to the chat and then ask the same question. Yes, that is the question and the answer that we've just added, and it works perfectly as you've seen. So now, if I was someone that was in the office and has encountered this question a lot, I will add it to the interface. Then when students come to ask for about the same, then we can just tell them to ask from the portal or from the chatbot, and they'll get the answers, and they are updated regularly, and the non-relevant entries that were added maybe for a certain period of time, let's say as of now we suspended some learning, yes, they can also delete them. Sorry.
Thank you so much, our presenters. Makofi kwao tafadhali. Asanteni sana. Our judges.
Thank you for your well presentation. What is the difference with the student portal?
Okay, the student portal, when you access the student portal, it has got the official information that you can access, but now these frequently asked questions are not found in the portal.
Number two, is it when you go to the interface of education, something to us on education, do you have that interface?
Pardon?
The interface for maybe something on learning. Do you have that interface?
Yes, we had.
Can you demonstrate for us any question on that interface of education? Something education you want to a student want to ask
something about education.
Yeah. Very fast.
According to this chat booth, information uploaded here is about just institution, around institution.
Or it is only for Bomet? It is only for Bomet University. Okay.
So thank you so much. Our judges are okay. Asanteni sana for the presentation. Quite innovative. Just a matter of caution. Remember that you're only given 10 minutes for presentation, and that also adds into the marks that you're given. So make sure that you observe the 10 minutes that you're given for presentation. So I think we're heading to the last two presentations before we close it there. Karibu sana. Take the stage.
Distinguished judges and colleague innovators and students, good evening. My name is Agabe Kiprotich. I'm presenting a system application for academic processes. I name it as Bomet Smart Scan. Bomet, the theme is AI, artificial intelligence as a transformative technology, unlocking the opportunities for sustainable development. The introduction, the description of the innovation. Bomet Smart Scan is a QR-based attendance where a lecturer generates the QR for the session. A session is like a class attendance. Bomet Smart Scan uses real-time recording. It also has a feature called geofencing. Geofencing is for the location tracking. Bomet Smart Scan has a secure automated features. A student has his or her own portal or dashboard. Dashboard is like for the student, the admin, and the lecturer. A lecturer has his or her own dashboard for class attendance checklist. This system application tries to solve the following problem. Number one, time consumption for the manual attendance. At kila time, watu tunatumia manual attendance most of the time. So Bomet Smart Scan inajaribu kusaidia mark attendance manual kutumia as we improve into technology part, Bomet Smart Scan inasaidia hiyo. Ya pili, data errors. Data errors in that if you sign for that Bomet Smart Scan portal, you will only have your personal data in, so that when you try to mark the attendance, the system will know your data every now and then. You will be using your student email or student email or personal email to mark attendance with your student data. The problem number 3 is poor record management. Bomet SmartScan tries to improve record management for class attendance. The fourth one is it supports high performance usage for large scale institution. An institution of 1,000 students, it will be difficult to mark attendance manually. Bomet SmartScan tries to improve that through QR-based data recording for class attendance. The innovation impact to the society. Bomet SmartScan promotes accountability. It also saves lecture time and enhances discipline. You accountable such that you will be it will reduce cheating and support accountable. Kila mwanafunzi, kila class ukiattend, your data itakuwa the same. No, hautakuwa tunaweza sign for someone. Your data itakuwa recorded kila time the same. The innovation impact to the environment. Bomet SmartScan reduces paperwork. It also reduces paperwork such that there will be no manual attendance like the current ones. Bomet SmartScan is eco-friendly system. Eco-friendly, like we will reduce paper most of the time. Tunaenda kutupa karatasi ile imeharibika. So Bomet SmartScan itapunguza hiyo. It is also less physical storage. We will require few or minimal storage for the attendance. Check. Innovation sustainability. Bomet SmartScan is low operational cost. We will require a few setup and the system is out there. It is also scalable across institution of any size. Institution of like 100 students can also use the Bomet SmartScan, even the one for 100,000. It is also easy to maintain and upgrade over time. Bomet SmartScan is easy to upgrade over time. Innovation resources required. We will need internet connection and hosting server for us to host our Bomet SmartScan. We will also need devices like smartphone and laptop like this one. We will also need to have software system and databases to store student data like the registration number and so on. Bomet SmartScan also tries to, we will also need technical support and maintenance team. Partnership and collaboration of the innovation. Collaboration with education and institution for implementation. Partnership with IT and tech services providers. Engagement with government and or education boards for support. Collaboration with
I will request you, we have a keynote speaker who made a presentation and is supposed to be given a souvenir. So we can request you to hand over the souvenir to him. Mugo Mushagi, you can open. Thank you, Dr. Mugo Mushagi. You can.
You can see it from there.
Thank you, Prof. Or can you come close to this place? They can come closer.
Okay, let's continue. Judges, should I start or I continue from where I left? Continue? Okay. We were under partnership and collaboration on the innovation. Bomet Smart Scan under partnership and collaboration on the innovation, Bomet Smart Scan, we can collaborate with education institutions for implementation. We can also partner with IT and tech services providers, engage with government or education boards for support, collaborate with software developers for system updates and maintenance. Commercialization of the innovation. Bomet Smart Scan offers subscription-based service to institutions. It also has licenses the system to educational institutions. It has providing premium features like analytic support reports and integrations, partnering with education tech companies for wider distribution. Let me do a prototype presentation. for the internet disruption. Bomet Smart Scan iko kwa hata unaweza confirm na simu yako. Sasa simu yangu itakuwa ndogo screen. I can present with my phone. We've got the logo, the Bomet Smart Scan has identification system. It has got the home page, login and sign up. Okay, let's continue. Bomet Smart. Okay, Bomet Smart Scan. This is how it looks. A prototype of it. It has a secure student identification attendance, and campus reporting. We got the home page, the login, and the sign up. If you don't have an account, you can sign up for the Bomet Smart Scan. Okay, we also have the secret, like the hidden panels, like the admin and the lecturer dashboard. It is not exposed here, but you can log in with details that I have for now as a developer. Bomet Smart Scan tries to solve the manual attendance using the QR-based checklist. For example, let's look as admin. Okay, admin panel has got system-wide view of user session and attendance activities. For instance, nilikuwa nimetumia marafiki kama watatu hivi, ndio maana unaona hiyo 3. Alafu kuna lecturer moja nimecreate na session moja inaendelea. Ndio hiyo session ni mathematics lecturer. Location ni kama venue, MPH main. Start time inakuwa na start time, end time. Also, admin has 3 privileges: can create student, lecturer, or manage students. Let's try to manage students. Ndio hiyo, kuna full user management, view and edit all system account. Admin can see the full name, email, and the role. That is how the admin panel looks like. Let's try the lecture. Here we go, the lecturer dashboard. Lecturer can manage session, QR attendance, and class reports. After each lecture, lecturer can have the attendance, average attendance at the end. Also, we have one session here for the lecturer created. This is how the QR will be working. You can view the QR